Hello, buddy. Crow here, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have like a major mess behind me. And if you remember my room tour, my impromptu room tour, I said I'd probably start pulling things apart, and I did that. And if you actually follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I actually have a new entertainment center put up. But I'm not going to show that here. That'll be for another time. This video is it's a video response to Mike from unleadedlogic. He has an open tag video, how much is too much? Basically, for game collectors, people who collect games, how big do you really want your collection to get, pretty much? How much of that is too much? And really, the answer is different for everybody. I mean, you could collect games for various reasons. In fact, if you have a game system, you have a game collection. If you buy a system, you're going to have a collection of games for that system, even if you have as little as one system. But where you get to where Mike is and myself, my phone, you amass so many games. There's no way you could play them all. Really, realistically, sometimes it almost seems like you're getting games just to get games. I know in my case, for me, it's nostalgia a lot of times. Getting things that I couldn't have gotten when they first came out. That's where a lot of my collection comes out from. Some of it is like, wow, I never heard of this system before, and you'll see the system at a really good deal and you'll get it. Then you've got to go get games for it and that kind of stuff. And yeah, there are a lot of games that I have that I'll never play probably. And that's one of the reasons why I put out videos on YouTube, for starting with the video game quick clips and with the Crow Play series. The sole reason for that is to give me a reason to play those games that I might not otherwise have played. Not that I don't enjoy playing games, but sometimes you get so busy with life, especially when you get older. Thinking back 10 years ago, I played so many games 10 years ago. And I'm 35 now, and you look and it's like, where did all the time go? Where did I have all this time to play games? And now it seems like there's so not that much time to actually sit down and play games for hours and hours and hours. I could play. I played like Persona, the original Persona once. Not kidding you, like 12 hours straight. Now I know that some people can play a lot longer than that, but for me that was the longest I ever sat still and playing one game. That'd be impossible for me to do these days. And if I even had kids now, that time would even dwindle even more, and I'd probably play more games with my kids if that that being the case. Something that just looking into the future, may or may not come to fruition. Who knows? That's not the topic. But how much is too much? Maybe the point is, you could look at the point of view of. Well, if you have so many games you can't play them, maybe you have too many. But I don't even look at it that way. To me, collecting games is a lot like somebody would collect stamps or collect coins, or maybe a hunter who's bagged a buck and mounted its head on the wall as a trophy or something like that. A trophy collection even. What's the point of them? I mean, if you're collecting stamps, you're not going to use those stamps. If you're collecting coins, you're not going to spend those coins. To me, it's the same thing with games. You could collect the games, and you could plug them in, play them for a little bit, maybe not seriously, just to check them out. But to me, it's like it's almost like a showroom or a gallery, of things that you're interested in. And people come over, you could show them, hey, look at this, look at this. Hey, you want to see this? That type of deal. I don't see anything wrong with that. I've had people come over and be like, oh, wow, I remember that game, and I'd be like, well, let's hook it up and play it. I mean, it's that's the cool thing about having these games. It's like a lot of people, especially my age, completely have forgotten about this stuff. And when they come over and see it, they're like, they get this flood of memories back to them, and they're like, wow, I remember this. And it's like, well, let's play it again. It's a nostalgic thing, but you do have to be careful where you're spending too much money on it. You're living outside of your means of what you can actually afford. And that's kind of an advantage too, is if you ever do run into trouble financial trouble, you do always have that collection. You can, take a portion of it, of all of it, and sell it off, and sometimes even make back more money than what you paid for it. Not, of course, if you're buying, all your games brand new at full price, like, Xbox 360, PS3 games, even like PS2 games, PS1 games. If you bought those games brand new, you're not going to make back the money that you did. Maybe, and if you do, it's a rare occasion where the game is highly sought after these days. Even NES games, if you think about it, a lot of them aren't worth the value they were back then. But if you buy them at like a really cheap price, if you're looking out for deals, if you go to Goodwill and you find some games at Goodwill, sometimes you can sell them at back to on eBay or something like that for multiple times the value that you bought them for. So you do have that advantage. But too much, it's there's basically three things you have to you look out for. The big important thing is, are you interested in it? If you're not interested in it, if you're not interested in your old games or something like that, then why do you even have them? The second thing, money wise, if you don't have the money to buy or even add on to your collection, or you have the why would you keep your collection? If you need money, it's a good thing you can get rid of, and then the last thing is space. You have to have the space for it all. And actually, it's one of the things I'm in process of doing. Not like I was running out of space, but this new setup that I have here affords me more space for that. It's pretty much all I have. I mean, if I for some reason had to move out of this house and into an apartment again, I wouldn't want to keep all this stuff like in boxes and stuff like that. I'd wind up selling it off, getting some money back. But as it is, I like to have it on display. Like, not I'm saying that. I am in process of taking my systems and boxing them up, but I'm doing that. I'm going to keep my systems in Tupperware containers in the closet from now on. Just because having 53 systems out in the open, collecting dust, I felt wasn't really looking that good anymore to me, and it collecting all that dust all the time was a lot of work and could potentially ruin the systems. But at least now, if I keep them in Tupperware containers, keep the games out on display, I can pull out those systems along with any cables and joysticks and controllers, just kept neatly with them from now on. And I think it's going to be a good idea. And I'll make a video of that in the future whenever I get done with it. I've been working on this for like 2 weeks straight, and the place looks like holy hell. But anyway, I'm sure I rambled on. I really don't know if I had a definitive answer. I just feel that it's really up to the individual. Maybe they get sick of what they're collecting. They get tired of it. Maybe they just rather say, you know what, I'd rather have money instead of this collection. Maybe, like I said, maybe you lose interest. But for me, it's all nostalgia. I don't know if I'll ever lose interest. I have considered a lot of times my wife has actually bought a lot of this collection too. So I really couldn't turn around and sell it if I wanted to. In fact, I brought up the point is like, well, if I take these set of games, sell them, I'll have enough to buy another pinball machine. No, I don't like that idea. Let's just keep the games and save up for a pinball machine. That won't happen for a while. I'm actually saving up for a new TV now anyway. Anyway, thanks again, Mike from Unleaded Logic, for the question, how much is too much? If you're interested in responding, I'll leave a link to the video. You should respond to Unleaded Logic. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time.